Hey folks, welcome. Here we discuss real stories by real people. Today we have the story of a man who finds his girlfriend on a dating site for lesbians. Let's see how it goes. Story 1. I, 21 male, met my girlfriend 20 on an online dating app. It was just supposed to be a one-time thing, but we kept seeing each other and it snowballed into a relationship. After we matched and hooked up, she started staying over at my apartment a couple of times. Soon we did almost everything together. There wasn't any particular point where we decided that we were boyfriend and girlfriend all of a sudden. We just grew closer and it sorta happened naturally. Which is why a recent development should in all honesty not be a complete shock, but I'm still heartbroken. Earlier today, I was hanging out with one of my friends who happens to be a lesbian. She and I go way back, and I was actually one of the first people she came out to. We had coffee together, both of us finished our drinks an hour ago, and we were just sitting around. In a moment of silence, she pulled out her phone and started swiping on this lesbian dating app called Her. After a couple of swipes, she started asking me for my opinion on some of the girls, and said she wanted another pair of straight eyes. For the most part, it was all in good fun until we saw one particular profile. My girlfriend's profile. I recognized her immediately. Holy shit, I said, why is she on here? Same reason everyone else is, my friend suggested. Probably looking to munch some carpet. Well, I did meet her on one of these apps. What if it's just an old account, I thought for a second. No way, dude, she told me. See that? Says the last time she logged in was yesterday. At the moment, I was too fixated on the fact that she's still using dating apps to process that it was a lesbian dating app. Now, I'd like to say that I don't have any issues with the LGBT community. I couldn't care less whether you happen to be gay or straight. What I do have an issue with, however, is dishonesty. And she didn't just keep seeing other people behind her back, but she also never told me that she was into other women. Also, I can't help but wonder what else she's still on. She probably has every other dating app on her phone too, and keeps having one-night stands with an uncountable amount of other men, women, and probably a few people who are somewhere in between. However, I think I know the perfect way to confront her. I'll download Her and set up a profile to catfish my girlfriend. My name will be Veronica. I'll use AI to generate a picture of a sexy woman, and my profile will be tailored to her preferences. I'll keep swiping left until I find my girlfriend's profile, and when I find her, I'll set up a date where I'll confront her. We'll keep you guys posted. Update. Turns out that catfishing a specific person on a dating app is harder in practice than in theory. I spent hours every day trying to swipe right through what felt like hundreds of different profiles, pretty much looking for a needle in a haystack. I even paid for the premium version of the app to make things easier. At some point, I was getting tired of looking for this one specific person, and started thinking about dropping my plan and swiping right on one of the bisexual women on there. But I managed to stay strong and find what I came for. On day 6, after an endless amount of tedious grinding, I finally found my match. My girlfriend's profile was right there staring at me, and all I had to do was swipe right. Didn't take long for her to add me back and start texting. Keeping her interested was easy. She is my girlfriend after all, but I admit that it was hard keeping up with some of the lesbian slang. But I was able to pick up on it pretty quickly. However, that's beside the point. I had a date set up for a local hipster joint next Friday. Honestly, I'm not sure why I chose a place like that. Maybe I just thought it would help sell the whole gay thing. Regardless, this evening will surely be a night to remember. Going to tell you how the date goes. Last update. We had our date yesterday, and it went better than I expected. Was still a disaster, but it was more like a Category 1 storm than a Category 4 hurricane. The week leading up to the date felt normal. As in, nothing with my girlfriend was out of the ordinary, but I started noticing things in that ordinary that were off. Little things, mostly stuff that doesn't really matter, but knowing what I know, it's starting to add up. Things like the way she hides her phone and how she gets defensive if I ask one too many questions. I also started noticing how tomboyish some of her mannerisms are. However, most of that stuff is irrelevant. I know you're dying to hear what happened at our date. The restaurant we went to was the kind of place where everything is obnoxiously overpriced. All of the drinks are served in mason jars, the staff doesn't even pretend to care about the customers, and the entire menu is gluten-free and vegan unless you ask them to add bacon. And they'll tell you what the pig's name was. Didn't matter though, I wasn't here for the food. We were supposed to meet up at 6, but I tried to be a little late. Didn't want her seeing me and walking out. By the time I got there, she was already at the table and was doing something on her phone. And we already knew what she was probably doing on it. Nevertheless, I approached her table and introduced myself. "Hi, I'm Veronica." She realized what was going on right away, and at first actually thought it was funny. Wait. Did you go through all that effort to catfish me? How cute." Her reaction didn't amuse me nearly as much, and I confronted her right away. "Come on, I caught you red-handed. You've been seeing other women while we're dating. What do you have to say for yourself?" She answered with an interesting piece of mental gymnastics. "Yeah, exactly. Other women. It doesn't count as cheating. You're still the only man I'm seeing." To be honest, her reply confused me, and I still don't get it. So what? You're still effing some random person behind my back. I couldn't care less if you happen to like girls too. You've been lying to me. She paused for a second and started to think about what I said and everything she's been doing. "Look, I'm sorry. If I realized you had such a problem with it, I would have never used that app. And of course I wouldn't have seen any of the girls on there. I still like you, way more than any of the other random encounters I've had. I guess I'm still stuck on that swipe, leave phase of online dating, and I don't know how to move past that. If you can find it in your heart to forgive me, then I might be ready to stay." Her apology seemed genuine, but then again so did everything else she said to me. After everything she's done, I just can't trust anything she says. "As much as I want to believe you, there's no way I could ever take you back," I said to her. "You're the kind of person who always tries to find a loophole to get what you want, and I won't let you get away with it this time." She wasn't ready to give up yet. "I'm never using that app again. Really, I won't. Things don't have to be any different between us." I couldn't tell if she was being honest with me or not, but the fact that I had any doubt says enough about how trustworthy she is. Do you really think things could go back to normal? It doesn't matter if you keep seeing other women or not. You already betrayed my trust, and that's something that can never be repaired. Right after I said that, she stopped trying to get through to me. She still looked emotional, but had this look of resignation that was telling me, "Fine, you can leave." I left the restaurant right after that, and haven't said a word to her since. I broke it off, and honestly, I feel relieved. Now that I'm a free man again, I'm definitely not going back to those dating sites. I learned my lesson the hard way. It's about time that I start looking for love somewhere that I can trust. It's good you broke things off with your girlfriend, OP. She honestly sounds like a person who would suck at a committed and closed relationship. I can't believe her defense was that she wasn't cheating on you since the people she was hooking up with were ladies. And when that didn't work, she switched to blaming the dating app. Someone like her isn't going to be a good partner to you. All she'll do is take from you and keep you on your toes because you can't trust her. Use this as a learning experience. I wish you good luck with your new girlfriend. Story 2. Saturday night, I, 30 male, got an odd text from a number that I've never seen before. Hell, it's not even in our state's area code. Keep in mind my wife, 32, was supposed to be sleeping at a friend's house who lives like 45 minutes away. They were going to be drinking, so we said just sleep there instead of driving home. So the gist of the text is, "You don't know me, but my boy is with your wife right now. I will not reply back. My boy Mike, he's on her FB, is with your has-been on many overnighters. Sorry, stay strong." I get it, and obviously don't take it seriously, as I don't have any trust issues with my wife. Plus, I responded to the text, "Who's this?" He never responds, and I take a screenshot and send it to my wife that night like, "Hey, look at this, LOL." Well, she responded that night, and I tried not to think about it too much. However, the next morning, I didn't get a response back. Something is off now. I start calling her like a madman, and eventually I get a response stating, "I can't talk about this right now." Well, shit just got real for me. I responded with a barrage of text messages basically stating, "So this is true then?" Again, silence for a little while. This woman is effing killing me. She finally responded with what I was hoping was a prank or wrong text. Well, after that she was pretty quiet, and I just went completely numb. I went to the gym and shut off everything. My hands were shaking, but I wasn't upset. It was a weird feeling. I wasn't furious or depressed, just numb. She finally came home later on that day, and I didn't talk to her at all the entire day. It looked like she had been crying for a very long time, but I could give a F less. She has an 11-year-old daughter, not my kid, but I've been with her since she was 6 years old. My wife did not deny anything and was pretty upfront about it once I asked her. She said she was with him twice. Right now, I'm trying to calmly talk to her about this through texting, but it's not going too well. The more I think about it, the more angry I get. We've been pretty distant for a few years, it feels like. Some of it is my fault, and I didn't do much to fix it. She claims it was the first guy who treated her like she wanted to be treated. I kinda jokingly said in the past few months we should see a counselor and see what happens, but she was pretty against it before. Well, I pretty much told her if we decide to fix this, we have to see one, if not, then don't bother. OP, you know, some of the problems in your relationship might have been your fault, but her cheating on you is not your fault in the slightest. Chances are she caused her fair share of problems in the relationship too. And instead of communicating with you about them and trying to fix them, she took the easy way out and did something that she knew would hurt you and just truly did not care because it made her feel good. If she truly couldn't get past things, she should have ended things rather than cheating. As hard as breaking up is, cheating is worse because it shows a complete lack of caring for you and your feelings. Whether you should stay with her or not, your call. Good luck with whatever decision you make. Now for some comments. Do you want to stay with her? If someone cheats in a relationship and wants to make it right, there are a few non-negotiable things that need to happen. They have to own what they did and take responsibility for it. No pushing it on you. No saying things like, "You've been distant lately," or "You haven't been there for me." They're the ones that decided to cheat, not you. They have to completely cut off all contact with the other person. If the other person's a coworker, that means getting another job. They have to agree to total transparency on everything. They need to give you all their passwords, and their phone and computer are to be available to you on demand. If she's not willing to do these things at minimum, then it's over. Why are you even going to see a counselor? She cheated on you intentionally. This is not a one-time thing. If she can't communicate her unhappiness to you rather to get satisfaction elsewhere, what makes you think she will the next time she feels the same way? You're in the clear to leave, dude. Just move her shit out. Let her be with Mike, and pray that her kid doesn't turn out like her mother. Okay, it sounded cruel. I apologize, but really, you can try counseling and therapy. But it'll be really tough in the next few years to try to get back on the same level that you two had before, or even during she cheated. Prepare for mountains of mistrust and insecurity on your end, and if she'll be able to handle those inevitable moments, at the rate probably not, and just run to another Mike, then give it a chance. I think since her immediate reaction is to go into silence mode, and not entirely clear on what she said, it sounded like avoidance to me, mixed with selfish, accusatory justifications like "the first guy who treated me right." Like, seriously? The guy who supported you and helped raise your kid didn't treat you right? She didn't throw herself on the mercy of the court, the signal that a person made a mistake and truly regrets it. Rather, she's just stonewalling you, trying to say as little as possible because she doesn't want to face you. That to me would be the deciding factor to start making my exit. Otherwise, she may do what's easy and ask you to stay, then drag out a half-assed effort at making it up and being transparent, all the while still hating the relationship and sabotaging it.